Hello, everyone. This is Group 10, and I'm Shi Hangzhou. Today, I'm gonna do two case studies with my teammates Yu Liu, and the first case is begin. The first case is global warming and climate change is a hoax. The journal affirmed that humans should continue with their routine without fear of climate change and global warming, since it will interfere with development programs. They claim that no convincing evidence that human cause global warming through their activities. Besides, they claim that the climate and atmosphere temperature have been changing since the ancient time. So next come to the critical thinking components of the argument. The arguments by the scientists against the reality of global warming demonstrates a faulty critical thinking that involve manipulation. The argument demonstrates that faculties where false in reasoning process lead to a poor logical of claims. For instance, the argument against global warming is premised on a manipulation to fit the proponent needs. Climate change has ever changing. Whether human acts or not, the climate will change, and therefore human actions cannot or will not lead to the change of the climate. Then it comes to the fall of the argument. They attempt to appeal the authority through the ignorance, since it's stated by the scientists that people should not all believe it. Since the person who opposed the global warming argument are prominent, we should believe in them. Besides, in appeal towards ignorance, people argue the premise and the argument should be believed, since there's no evidence that can sufficiently prove their ideas. So why the error exists and what can we do? The error says that some of the mankind activity like industrialization and others lead to discharge the chemicals and the gases to the atmosphere. And also, I feel that the error was intentionally to manipulate people to believe that they should not support intentions by global institutions and authorities in reducing human activities that harm the environment. In preventing such error from happening again, article and journal publishers should evaluate the intention of the argument and the impact of the argument could have and weigh whether to publish it regardless of the freedom of speech and expression. In making the world a better place, people should evaluate their thinking process, avoid assumptions, and attempt reversing scenarios and things to weigh the impact. The public awareness on thinking process and awareness that there's no single person who think 100% critically. Next, my teammates will introduce another cases.
Here is a second case. If we turn back the pointer of time for decades, you will surprised by cigarette advertisement at that time. In 1917, when American tobacco company Lucky Strike cigarette first appeared, the purpose of advertise was to promote their own technology. By the late 1920s, the slogan has changed, claiming that women could lose weight by smoke. At that time, the Lucky Strike cigarette increased by 300% that year. By the 1930s, consumers found that smoking could cause coughing and throat discomfortable. At this time, the American Tobacco Company thought of expert endorsement. 20,600 physicians said that the Lucky Strike cigarette had less simulation. American Camel Cigarette Company also changed its slogan, claiming that our tobacco burns slowly, so it's reduced absorption of nicotine. Next page, please. After decades of advertisement for Dr. Smoking, Santa Smoking, and progress say women smoking. People found that the rate of lung cancer soared. According to relevant statistics, lung cancer was once a very rare disease before 1900. Only 100 cases were recorded in the United States every year. However, the tobacco company issued a statement that the research on smoking and lung cancer is vigilant, but they do not have a definitive link. It was not until 1965 that the American tobacco industry was required to put warning label on cigarette boxes. To be concluded, nowadays, amount of people smoke because they not use critical thinking wisely. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And here are the references.